Hey everybody, happy Monday. Good to always be back here with you on the channel. I hope you had a good weekend. It was certainly uplifting to see what happened in Montgomery, right? All roads lead to the south. It was amazing to see that energy. Gonna get to AOC and Justin Pearson together. That was quite a powerful thing, and AOC in general. I got some energy around that. So I want to talk to you about that. If you are just landing on the channel, I'm a Fefe with Touch by Tarot and Beyond. And if you're not familiar with me, I'm a tarot reader, clearly, but I'm a former newspaper journalist as well. So I tend to approach my readings try to stay pretty grounded, practical. And then we go to spirit and get deeper insights on what the heck is going on. So this is really going to be interesting. So we understand that as a result of Trump's lawsuit against the IRS, right? He's saying he'll settle that lawsuit in exchange for a $1.7 billion taxpayer-funded payout to the Jan6 rioters, right? And I'm sure many of you have heard about that and, up to speed on that. Here's where I want to go. Like, for real? For real? You're going to use taxpayer dollars to pay the Jan6ers? Two things I want to look at, you all. Is that going to fly, right? Like, I'm almost feeling like, yeah, it will, because they always cave. But is that going to fly? But also, what's the point? Is he planning to promise those payouts whether or not he'd actually make it, right? That's another thing. Will he keep his word? If he gets that money, is he actually intending to turn that over to the people who were convicted for the Jan 6 riots? But is he also planning to essentially string those folks along so that he'll have his own militia after the midterms, right? Because, hey, who knows if that bunker is going to be finished in time, so he can hide out there and get somebody to try and keep him from getting dragged out or handled, right? So let's go into that. That's going to be really, really interesting to see how that turns out. $1.7 billion that U.S. taxpaying citizens are supposed to pay the Jan6ers. Woo! When we think it just can't get any weirder, right? All right, let's see what's going on. Thank you, Spirit. We have the tower at the bottom of the deck starting it, right? Now, I'm going to go further. Oh, and an ace of wands. I don't ignore aces. And an ace of wands. I tell you what, that is going to light a fire under citizens in America like none other. You took my money, my hard-earned money, and used it to pay those people? Woo! Okay. The tower and the ace of fire, coming in fire, no less. That's going to ignite. Talk about a blowback. That is going to ignite people like, hello. You don't see this coming? All right. Spirit, will that money get approved? Let's take it step by step. Will that money get approved? Will Trump get the approval for the $1.7 billion that he's seeking for the Jan6ers, the ones that are pardoned? Will he get it? Ace of Cups. I knew it. I said it going into the reading, right? I knew it. Yes. So they're gonna bow, because again, he's made that a condition of him dropping the lawsuit against the IRS. Not to even go into, since when did a president of the United States sue the government? Okay. Whoop. I need a sip of coffee, y'all. I need some caffeine behind that one. So it looks like he's going to get the money, or at least a large portion of it. Now, part two. Will he actually use that money for payouts? Will that money actually wind up in the hands of Jan6ers, the rioters? Nine of Cups. He's going to string them along. I know you want it. I'd love to give it to you. The Queen of Swords. The King of Wands. So these are people in his administration or in the Justice Department, or perhaps even in Congress, who, if these funds, or it looks like these funds will get approved, then it's up to them to tell the Jan6ers it's on the way. 9 of Cups. We got your back. It's on the way. Look what we're doing for you. Will they see that money? The King of Swords. This is people coming all around from who would technically be in charge of dispersing those funds. And the Knight of Cups. It's more messaging than anything else. Spirits, please show me pentacles, money, right? Please show me pentacles if the Jan6 rioters will actually wind up getting money in their pockets from a settlement. Queen of Wands. I think that's that might be Marjorie Taylor Green. She comes to mind, or others that could be AOC. Again, I'm going to talk about her in a second. But this is people within DC who are going to absolutely go ballistic. And I got the Queen of Cups right behind her. So this will be people who, on the one hand, you're going to see people in his administration saying, okay, just give us a minute. We're trying to get this money to you. I have not seen Spirit. Please show me pentacles. If, in fact, that money's going to land in their hands. Taxpayer dollars. 4 of Cups. I don't know about that. So let's go in the opposite direction. Will he keep that money? Will he basically, is this another ruse, another grift? Will he keep that money? The 2 of Swords. They call it wind in this deck. The 2 of Swords. I'm reading with, I'm sorry, I didn't put it up here. I'm reading with the Wise Earth Medicine Tarot, for those of you who read. Two of Swords. Partial payments, just enough to dribble it out and make them think they're getting it. And the Moon, that's shadowy. That's I don't think he's planning to give them that money. I think he's going to dangle that money in front of them, like, because again, and this is where I'm going, is he trying to mobilize or remobilize those Jan6 rioters to protect him, to be his own like private militia later in the year after the elections? The High Priestess, that's the plan, y'all. The High Priestess can very often indicate secrecy and sort of a yet to be revealed kind of energy behind it. So is Frump's intention to mobilize the most radical of the radical MAGA to protect him after the midterms? When Congress turns over, Ace of Swords. All right, clear as day, Ace of Swords. That's the plan. But I don't know that he's actually, since when? Since when did he keep his word on something in that regard, right? And I didn't see, I'm getting the Ace of Pentacles, 2 aces coming back to back. He's going to promise them that money. It looks like he's going to get at least a portion, if not all of that 1.7 billion. People going back to that tower and the Ace of Wands. And you know what, you all? I just realized we got all 4 aces that have come out in this reading. We got all 4 aces. Keeping in mind that tower. This is, as if gas prices, inflation, healthcare, we got a scroll at this point, right? We got a scroll of reasons and issues to like this whole regime has got to go. This will be another thing added to it. And this will be from the perspective of not even what Spirit is telling me, not even from the perspective of a campaign issue that in state races, etc., and federal races that candidates can use. This is hitting home. This is about, I don't care if you talk about it or not on the campaign trails across the nation. I know what happened. That's that tower moment. All right. I also want to look at AOC and Justin Pearson. You all, you've never heard me describe myself as a psychic on this channel. I don't necessarily perceive myself as one. I think we all have psychic abilities. We all have intuition. We're all plugged in. I feel my strength is I'm very intuitive. from my background in journalism, I'm really good at like trying to see the subtext of things. So that's why I feel real good about doing this work, because I know that I get insights. It's not about trying to make hard and fast predictions, but I'm pretty plugged in more often than not, as are many of you. I appreciate your comments and your participation on the channel. So AOC went to Montgomery this weekend. She was with Justin Pearson and so many other people who were there. But she said it's time for the North to pull up on the South, right? All roads lead south. That was the theme of the Montgomery rally. I got the strongest feeling of John Lewis standing over Justin Pearson. That man is going to get in Congress. His future is so incredible. Many of you may have seen as well. He had an interesting phone call with Kamala Harris, and I'm just waiting on Barack Obama to pick up a phone. But I feel the presence of John Lewis around Justin Pearson so strongly, and around AOC. I got it very, very strongly. RBG, none other than the iconic Ruth Bader Ginsburg, is standing on or around or in back of with her wings over AOC, you all. I want to confirm that because there's something in, I'm getting almost like a soul purpose or a soul mission that the two of them are meant to carry on the legacies, right? Talk about the Voting Rights Act. We know all the work that Ruth Bader Ginsburg put in around that, right? As a Supreme Court justice. Spirit, is that right? Are AOC and Justin Pearson being guided by these iconic, historical, powerful, ancestral energies? Are they being guided? We've got the 10 of Cups. Yes, as family. This is a coming together, and this is something in their respective energies, talking about AOC and Justin Pearson. There's something in their respective energies that just people gravitate to and are mobilized. I'm wondering, are these two going to be part of a growing coalition in the progressive movement? The Five of Swords, there will be people trying to confuse their messaging, and the Ten of Swords, there are going to be people trying to confuse the messaging that comes out in both of their respective paths, right? Because we know AOC is already in Congress and Justin is running for Congress. But Spirit, if he gets in, will he align with AOC? Is this a duo to watch? That's what I'm getting. The Moon. I think so. And this is divine feminine energy. We know Mother Moon, Father Sun, right? This is, and also talking about psychic intuition or the visitation, if you will, by these powerful spirits, RBG and John Lewis. And that's also the Moon. The Chariot. Family. Again, I'm getting a feeling of family here. Going back to that Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups very often it relates to families and celebrations and people coming together. And the Chariot, ruled by Cancer, you don't get a whole lot more family oriented than the energy of Cancer, right? Cancer also ruled by what? The Moon. You see that? There is some extremely powerful ancestral energy that's walking with the two of them. And I think we're going to see some incredible momentum from the other side that is helping the two of them in terms of protection, in terms of their messaging, in terms of their energy and their ability to continue to carry on in the face of, all the pressure and the odds. This is going to be quite something. And remembering as well, Spirit just said, AOC, part of the, not a challenge, but part of her path is, yes, she has been mentored by and aligned with Bernie Sanders for a long time, right? Beautiful. But she is also carving her own leadership, her own voice, and building her coalition with up and coming people like Justin Pearson is all a part of the divine plan. It really is all a part of the divine plan. So that's inspirational. I hope that kind of pings your spirits a little bit in a good way. All right. And finally, I want to look at today. So how about Marjorie Taylor Green came out with what essentially sounded like a threat. She said to Trump, basically, look, if you go forward and you put troops on the ground in Iran, and I'm going to look more at Iran, the whole, he's back on that, posting the memes with nuclear option and all of that. We'll get into that. Not today. But Marjorie Taylor Green came out and said, look, if you do this, now I wrote it down as a quote because I wanted to make sure I got the wording right. She said, the coalition, if he does this, right, troops on the ground in Iran, the coalition will unite and be unstoppable. I'll make sure of it. Quote, unquote. The coalition will unite and be unstoppable. I'll make sure of it. What coalition? Right? What coalition? What is Marjorie Taylor Green talking about? Now, I'm getting a little wind around Ro Khanna. There, we know Marjorie's been making some noise now for quite a while, ever since she left Congress. And there's been this whole, she went on this publicity tour for a while. We started seeing her on all the news shows, talking that talk. My eyes are now opened. This ain't right. And a lot of Dems, Dems and independents have been saying, don't believe the hype. Tiger don't change his stripes, okay? But that hasn't stopped her. And you have people like Ro Khanna on the Democratic side saying, well, let's not shut the door on people like that. If we have people who are willing to step in and advance our cause, maybe we should work together. AOC, on the other hand, talking about progressive leaders have been saying, not happening. It ain't happening. So who is this? The coalition will unite and be unstoppable. And I'll make sure of it, she said. I'll make sure of it. Spirit, what's up with Marjorie Taylor Green? Is she trying to launch a separate movement? What is this coalition? Does she have one? Marjorie Taylor Green. And is she going to be something to contend with in the MAGA base? Ace of Swords comes at the bottom of the deck. Y'all saw me shuffling. And here comes the Tower back again. Whoa, that is a shakeup. And that's a shakeup in messaging. And that's for the people who are breaking away from the MAGA movement, who want something different, who are disenchanted. So Spirit is wait a minute, is Marjorie, I feel like I want to shuffle a little bit more. Is Marjorie building a coalition, or does she have an established coalition that will follow her? Does she have that big of a following? Because for the most part, a lot of us have just seen her as a mouthpiece, nothing but, just yak, yak, yak. And because of the absurdity of so much of what she said in the past, the media loves it, right? But that doesn't mean she necessarily has support. Does Marjorie Taylor Green, does she have support in the MAGA base? Are they turning over to her? Does she have support? The Magician. Well, I'll be doggone. She's creating it. She certainly has the recognition, and she has that voice, and she does garner a lot of media attention, as she did this weekend for saying that. The Nine of Swords, though, comes. All right, now that feels more what I expected to see, which is she can't necessarily back up what she's promising. Duh. She's selling it. And the Lovers, exactly. She's selling it. She wants people to get behind her and unite with her, right? the lovers also being ruled by Mercury, so the messaging that goes out, thinking about the magician, intentionally trying to create a coalition that will unite behind her, and the lovers trying to again get people to come behind her and support her. But I don't know that she has that kind of juice, and she's not trusted. Spirit, will we see and judgment, exactly. So she is trying to do a rebirthing kind of thing. Judgment is a card often that comes, some people call it the card of second chances, right? Or lessons learned. So that's her most pivotal message, if you will. She's saying, I learned my lesson. I'm ready to I'm ready to stand for true Republican values, blah blah blah. She's trying to get a second chance. She wants to be brought back in. The Eight of Swords. She feels like, I get it. She feels like doing this immunizes her to a certain extent from any potential threats. That she can get enough support behind her, and that it kind of envelops her in protection. And the Fool, she's looking for a fresh start. She's looking for a fresh start. She's looking to and that's not breaking news, if you will. We knew all along that her stepping back was not really stepping away, that she's playing her cards in an interesting way, and she didn't want to continue to try to do that in Congress. She knew she couldn't. And Three of Cups, yeah. Trying to celebrate. She's planning to celebrate what she perceives will be her win, as going back to the Fool, re-emerging as this powerful political voice. I just don't know. Will the people get behind her? Spirit, are we going to see a political version of in power of Marjorie Taylor Green in the conservative Queen of Swords? That's her. Will she emerge as a political force within the conservative movement again? The Nine of Wands, she's gonna push. She's dogged is the word Spirit is giving me. And the Six of Wands, to an extent, she is going to be a voice and she's going to continue to be out there, not even on the fringes. She's going to be, kind of front and center in this anti-conservative, anti-Trump situation, but I don't see her ascending to any, real levels of power. And will the Democratic leaders steer clear of her? Spirit, will they steer clear of her? The Star, yeah. So to an extent, not wanting to alienate her, not wanting to pick fights with her, but also keeping her off in the distance. The Star, of course, as many of you know, it's a card of hope. It's a card of ruled by Aquarius. So it is a card of all for one and people coming together and the Rokana piece. No, we don't like her. We know what she did in the past, but if she's down for the cause, she's down for the cause. You're going to see some of that within the party, within the Democratic Party, but it's also pushing it out into the distance, like no real hard and fast connections. I'm almost seeing they're reminding me and death. Yeah, it's not going to go anywhere. And it's interesting because I also got right there at the tail end, I was getting Spirit was reminding me of the Liz Cheney effect, right? When Liz Cheney tried to come out and help Kamala Harris, it was what it was, and it did what it did, and it didn't do what it didn't do, right? All right, y'all. Thank you always for being with me here on the channel. Thank you as well to so many of you who responded to the wait list for the Mojo oils, okay? I've got your names. I will be sending out some information and get some bottles ready. I like to work around the moon because I put a lot of energy into creating those. So I got your messages. I didn't respond to everybody. I got too many emails, but I got your messages. You are on the wait list. I am going to make some oils, and I will be sending out a blast email to those of you who responded. If you didn't know, and I put my bottle up But you can look on my video. There's a short video, 5-minute video on my mojo oils that I make in small batches, and I talk to you a little bit about what that is. And I am creating a wait list so that I can create my next batch and get them out to you all. Okay. All right. Chin up. Woohoo. Shoulders back. Right. Shoulders back. Come from your hearts. Because this is, yeah, it's gonna be an interesting ride, and we know that, but we're down for the ride, you know. And if we gas is high, but if we got to chip in with one another to pay for the gas to get where we're going, I think that's just about what we're gonna do. All right, take good care, and I will talk to you all a little bit later. Bye.